The Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max is the top of the range of Turtle Beach's headset lineup and has a truckload of features for a gaming headset in its price range. It has some pretty interesting ones too, like programmable buttons and an app that lets you do things like update EQ settings. At $320 Australian, it's competitively priced too. This all sounds great on paper, of course, but how does it perform in the real world? Well, let's find out. Looking at the specs, there's a couple of standouts here. Firstly, it has large 50mm neodymium drivers with a frequency response range of 20Hz to 22kHz, which is slightly above average. It uses 2.4 GHz for connecting wirelessly to PC or Mac and console, and Bluetooth 5.1 for connecting to Bluetooth devices. You can use both the 2.4G and Bluetooth simultaneously too, meaning you can chat on Discord via your phone while also playing on your Xbox. They weigh 385 grams, which means they aren't the lightest headset around, but they're still lighter than something like the JBL Quantum 810. Battery life is a solid 40 hours while using the 2.4G, and you can charge and use them at the same time. It also has a killer rapid charge feature. You get 8 hours off a 15-minute charge, which is super handy for heavy users. Bluetooth battery life is similar to the 2.4G, maybe a little more than 40 hours. Running both at the same time in my experience seems to halve this, which is on par with other headsets that have dual connectivity. On the left ear cup you have the volume dial, chat mix dial, power button, Bluetooth button, mode button, and the microphone. I don't know why Turtle Beach put everything on one side. Maybe it was a cost-cutting exercise, but I wish they had split the arrangement of buttons more evenly because it feels like there's a lot going on here. I also don't love the dials. They're small and kind of stiff, making it hard to make fine adjustments. Now the Bluetooth button can also be used to answer and reject calls, skip music tracks, and activate voice recognition such as Siri or Google. Pairing with Bluetooth devices is easy and Bluetooth performance is decent. The range is okay, although it's a bit patchy when moving more than a couple of meters away from the connected device. Up close it works perfectly though, and I haven't noticed any obvious latency. Device compatibility with gaming headsets is often a key determining factor as to what you end up buying. The 700 Gen 2 Max doesn't have this problem. It connects to everything. Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One X and S, PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, PC and Mac. It also connects to anything that has Bluetooth. It's like the doom of gaming headsets. You can probably even connect it to your smart toaster. If you want one headset to rule them all, at least from a connectivity standpoint, this is it. Unlike a lot of other headsets, it doesn't have a 3.5mm wired connection. It won't take an audio signal through a USB cable either, which makes this a wireless-only headset. I don't think this is a big deal, but it does require the headset to either have a charge or be connected to the power at all times. Okay, let's talk about how they sound. I think this is the weakest aspect of the 700 Gen 2 Max. Out of the box, the bass sounds horribly muffled, and listening to anything but games on the factory EQ setting isn't a great experience. I found the vocal boost preset to be a better fit for my personal taste, but the mids and low ends still feel a bit muddy. Thankfully, you have the ability to create custom presets via the app, and after a bit of tweaking, I was able to find something that was more comfortable. So you might need to spend some time to dial in a setup that sounds right. Overall, I don't think this is a bad sounding headset, but they don't hold up against something like the SteelSeries Arctis Nova 7 or even the JBL Quantum 810s. That said, they are cheaper than both of those, especially the Nova 7s. Beyond regular EQ settings, the 700 Gen 2 Max also has something called Super Hearing Sound. This boosts in-game sounds like footsteps, presumably through some kind of compression. The marketing for this feature doesn't really explain the technology behind it. It sounds awful from a straight-up listening point of view, but it does make some sounds easier to pick out, and I can see how it might give you a slight advantage in certain games. When connected to a PC, you also get access to Windows Sonic, Dolby Atmos, DTS Headphone X, and additionally they work with Sony's 3D audio, but then again, what doesn't? When connected via Bluetooth, this is not a super loud headset. For me, it's loud enough, but I can comfortably listen to it at its max volume, which isn't something that I can normally do with other headsets. Passive noise isolation is okay. This mainly comes down to the material that the ear cushions are made out of. Turtle Beach calls them cooling gel infused ear cushions, and yeah, for a faux leather ear cup, they're reasonably cool. While I like the ear cushions, I have a few concerns with the fit and comfort. The headband does flex, but it's quite stiff, and the design means that the ear cups squeeze your head in a pincer-like fashion. Comfort is always a hard thing to describe/evaluate because everyone's head is a different shape and size. Personally, I find that when wearing these for anything more than a couple of hours, I need to take a break. And I'd say that if you're planning on using them regularly for extended sessions, this is something to bear in mind. Now, to their credit, Turtle Beach has incorporated something they call the Pro Specs Glasses Friendly system. This allows you to create a custom channel or space in the ear cushion to help reduce the pressure on your glasses frame. It's not a game changer, although I did find that it improved the comfort level when set to its max setting. And it's definitely nice that they considered people who wear glasses. The overall design is bulky. This is not a discrete headset, and this extends to the size of the dongle. The microphone does tuck neatly into the left ear cup, giving it a nice uniform appearance, and this also helps it look like a regular pair of headphones, so you can take them out and about without advertising that you're wearing a gaming headset. Speaking of the microphone, this is what it sounds like. I don't alter the microphone audio in any way in post-production in my reviews. This is the raw recording straight out of the headset. As you can hear, it's a pretty good mic for a headset. I just finished saying in my Nova 7 review that it had the best mic on a gaming headset, but this is definitely up there. I was pleasantly surprised with how good this sounds. One final thing I want to say about the appearance of this headset is that it comes in two colors. So if you don't dig the blue and copper look, it also comes in black. One of the best features is the companion app for iOS and Android. The app lets you modify things like the volume, mic settings, and the voice prompt volume levels. This is a great tool because remembering which button I need to press to do specific things is always a struggle for me. On the app, you can swap between EQ presets and even make a custom one on the fly. With loads of other headsets, this needs to be done by connecting the headset to a PC. With the 700 Gen 2 Max, you can just whip out your phone. You can also adjust the chat volume in the custom presets too. Better than this though, you can remap the wheel and the mode button to your preferred settings. So for example, on PlayStation the headset doesn't support chat mixing, so you can swap the function of the wheel to something like side tone volume instead. This is a really awesome feature. Unfortunately, even though there is software that is supposed to work on both PC and Mac, it only allows you to update the firmware. At least that's all I could get it to do. So a smartphone is required to get the most out of this headset. Overall, the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 2 Max doesn't compete with similar headsets when talking about sound quality, and they're not great for anything but gaming. The comfort level also means they're not the best choice for long gaming sessions. From a features point of view though, they're excellent. The companion app gives it a real advantage, and the remappable buttons and dial are something that I want to see on more headsets moving forward. The other thing to consider is that while it's not a perfect solution, the 700 Gen 2 Max is a lot cheaper than many of the headsets it's competing with. So long as you're not planning on wearing them for hours on end, they offer a lot of utility. They have a couple of forward-thinking ideas, and they're also wirelessly compatible with basically everything, something that many of the more expensive headsets don't offer. If you want something that's feature-rich to use across all of your gaming systems at an affordable price, these are worth considering.